Hello everyone, my name is Joshua and this is the 60th video of my video journal series. Today's date is uh, Thursday, the 9th of April 2026. And I apologize for the end of my last video journal entry because towards the end of it, I said it was the 60th video and I forgot the date. But no, this is the 60th video. Today's date is the 9th of April. Yesterday was the 8th of April, so that'll make yesterday's entry the 59th video in the series, and I even put it in the title of that video and in the description here on YouTube. So I apologize about that because sometimes second doubt myself on even stuff like the date, because when I record these videos late at night, I get a little bit sleepy and I make a lot of mistakes in these videos, because I guess I'm still young, I make mistakes, but that's not an excuse for not knowing today's date. Especially during I remember, a few months ago during school holidays, you just live every single day and you sometimes don't even know the date because you're just at home all day and every day is practically a day off up until you have to go back to school again or university, and in that case, well, that's when dates really matter because that's when you have assignments, homework. But during those school holidays, which I'm more than halfway through my semester, so they'll be kicking in around late Mayish. Can't wait, for the that 2 month break where I can just, sit at home and say, oh, I think it's the 15th or the 16th. It doesn't really matter, I guess that happens when you reach retirement age where you don't even know, what day of the week it is. You're just, at home and you don't really give a shit because you don't have, I guess, that many commitments, or you don't have to be in, specific areas at specific times, or maybe to go to bingo or go to the shops or whatever. But as an adult, you need to know what the time is. You need to know what the date is, especially now for me. When you're trying to um, schedule stuff, and you just need to know when assignments coming up, and every day you got to utilize it to your max. Can't wait for the break. Anyway, that's not today's subject, though. Today's subject is pub food. Now, today I went to a pub with mates and we all sat down, and I was looking on my phone at the menu of the pub, and they had a bunch of good deals on. But whenever I go to the pub, I always get a chicken palmy or parmigiana or whatever you like to call it, and I got a pint of Guinness, which is one of my favorite drinks. Haven't had a pint of Guinness in quite a while, but yeah, and the palmy was nice. I had chips and a salad and some gravy along with it, and all my other friends, they got fish and chips. They got one person got a burger combo, a burger and a schooner of Guinness, along with some chips on the side, and it's really got me, thinking about pub food. Why is pub food really, really, I guess, unhealthy, sort of, but they give you pretty big portions, and my mom always told me that, always go to a pub to get food, don't go to McDonald's or KFC. But in my mind, I'm well, pub food isn't exactly the most healthiest thing. It's a lot of fat, a lot of, I guess, you know, grease, depending which item you're getting. It's certainly not healthy, but it does taste a lot better than McDonald's or KFC, in my opinion, and it fills you up a lot more. And it's especially quite cheap. Now, by cheap, I mean it's reasonably priced. I know the price of food and drinks in pubs have gone up over the last couple of years, but if you look at just getting one of their deals, maybe a $25 palmy, sometimes that comes with a drink and some chips, salad, and gravy on the side. I mean, those are pretty good deals. The deals that they run at pubs are really, really good for some reason, in terms of pricing. And it makes me think, well, do they just get most of their money from the alcohol sales? So that's why they lower down the food prices? Because compare going to a pub to going to a mid to high end, maybe a mid to, I don't know, lower high end restaurant, like maybe like a formal dining restaurant, right? If you look at those menu prices, they're like a lot more expensive than pubs, you know? Like a palmy, like, you know, like an outside restaurant, casual dining, um, might run you like 30 or 35 bucks, but pubs are like a full $10 cheaper. Obviously, it depends where you go to, but yeah, like the things and I guess menu items, especially food that you can get at a pub, is often a lot cheaper than other restaurants and um, you know, those places in the city that you only go to like once and then you're like, oh, it was too expensive. The food was okay, but price didn't really match the quality, sort of thing. But you know, like the food at pubs is really, I guess, like it tastes nice. I like it, but it does, I guess, um, make me a little bit more chubbier. I guess I need to crack down on how much pub food I consume. Maybe like a once a week sort of thing, or once a fortnight sort of thing. But certainly not like every couple of days. And now I really go to pubs like maybe once a week, just sporadically. Maybe once in every 10 days, just for like a quick drink because I'm not like a heavy drinker or anything. Um, so yeah, like whenever I go to a pub, sometimes I just like always get like a drink, like a pint of Guinness. That's my favorite. But I always consider the menu items, and sometimes I get like a palmy, or I just get like a quick snack or whatever. And a pub is a really good like social environment. It's like pretty much the go-to if you want to gather your mates around, or just like a group of friends or family. Like pub is really just going to a pub is just the default option, at least for my like friend group and family and all that. It's just pretty much the default. It's like, oh, do you want to hang out on the weekend? I'm like, yeah. Where do you want to go? And we're just like, I'm like, oh, let's go to the pub. Let's go to a pub in a city. Eat some of their food, have a drink and all that. I guess now, since I'm like 20, you know, all my other friends are like at least 18 years old because I have some friends who have just turned like, who are still technically 18 years old. They're going to turn 19 in a few months' time, but they were born in like mid 2007. I was born in early '06. So, you know, it really is just like kind of annoying when you're like 19 or late 19 years old and you gotta wait for your other friends to like turn 18 in a couple of weeks or months. But now, like, most of my friend group, I believe, yeah, pretty much all our friend group is like 18. And, you know, I'm pretty sure the last person to turn 18 in my friend group was, his birthday was in, it was like in late 2025 or something, but he was in like the year below me. So he wasn't in the year that I graduated high school. He only graduated high school last year. So um, obviously that makes sense. But there's some people who graduated in my year who were only 17 years old when they graduated because I guess they entered school a little bit earlier because they're an '07 kid. More specifically, like maybe June or July '07, just right at the cutoff. But anyway, yeah, pub food is really nice. I always head for the palmy, though sometimes I get the burgers, wicked wings or chips, and there's a lot of like just bistro places, which is like it's not quite a pub. They have like a bar at the front, but it's more like a bistro. It's more like a club. Um, Informal dining area, if you know what I mean. It's like, we're a pub, right? You got like the actual bar in the middle of the structure of the building, and you got like the bar stools and all the surrounding tables. A bistro is more like, a large seating area, a bunch of tables, maybe like an outdoor dining section, and where you order the food and the actual bar is like in a specific corner of the building. And I guess bistro is more like, food orientated instead of like drinks. Meanwhile, pubs are more like drinks rather than food. But yeah, I guess it really depends what bistro or pub you go to. But I always like going to bistros as well. Maybe overseas you call them a little bit different, but here in Australia we call them bistros, or maybe depending where in Australia you call it. I know where I'm from, we just call it bistro. Other people may call it like an RSL sort of thing. Even RSLs are like, um, an entirely different thing, but it's got like that same vibe of an RSL, Um, and bistro food is like typically okay. I mean, you get what you pay for, sort of thing. But usually bistro food, surprisingly, is a little bit worse than pub food. At least the bistros I've been to, because I feel like pub food is like over here, and bistro food is like maybe down here. Even if you get like the exact same menu item, like a palmy from pub, palmy from bistro, the pub palmy somehow tastes better, and they give you like bigger portions as well, which I don't know why, but like that's the, I guess, thing about pub food, um, and I guess obviously like you know people go to pubs to get food and whatever, but the main point of a pub is obviously the drinks. That's what they should be focusing on. Um, so yeah, it's always like really struck out to me that bistros, which mostly focus on food, you know, unregrettably have, I guess, worse quality food than the one that you can easily get at a pub, which I don't really understand. Maybe leave a comment down below if you ever had that sort of experience where you experience like that discrepancy between bistro and pub food. I'm very interested to know. Um, hmm. What should I talk about next? So I always get like a little bit stumped on where to lead these conversations. Um, I guess to wrap things up. I always like going to pubs. I like the atmosphere of pubs as well. I was just talking with my mates who were having a few beers, and it's just like a really nice environment, especially when you go to a pub in like midday. When there's like no one else around. It's like it's a nice experience, because I guess you got the whole venue to yourself, but it kind of like it's a little bit eerie going to a pub where there's like no one around. Sometimes I like going to pubs where it's like really busy, add to the atmosphere. But I guess if you're going in a group, if you want to like talk to each other without like screaming in each other's ears because it's so loud and everyone's talking around you, you might as well just go to the pub, like if you can, I guess, earlier in the morning, or not in the morning. It's not the best idea to have a drink in the morning, but maybe like a little bit right before peak hour, when everyone just starts flooding into the pub. Um, tomorrow's going to be Friday, and obviously, um, you know, I'm going to actually go out tomorrow on Friday. I'm going to keep it a secret, but I'm planning for tomorrow's video journal entry to be not in this garage and me sitting on this couch, but it will actually be another remote one. Um, and I guess you will just stay tuned on what I have prepped for tomorrow. But I got to wake up early tomorrow because I got to catch a train um, into this area, into this. It's a little bit outside of Sydney, but yeah, it will be a surprise. And yeah, hope you look forward to tomorrow's video. Um, and yeah, just pub food. I really like it. And that's all I really have to say. Anyway, catch you later and see you next time. Bye. Take care. See ya.